The final bell had rung and the hallways of Riverton High School were emptying fast. But I was stuck, my back pressed hard against the row of blue lockers by Logan Reed's powerful arm. Logan, the star quarterback, the guy everyone worshipped, the one who had made it his mission to make my life miserable since sophomore year. His face was inches from mine, his blue eyes burning with something I could not quite read. "You think you can just ignore me, Harper?" He snarled, his voice low and rough. His fist rested against the locker right next to my head, the metal creaking under the pressure. I swallowed hard, trying to keep my breathing steady. "What do you want, Logan? Just leave me alone already." He did not move away. Instead, he leaned in closer, his breath warm against my ear. For a split second, the anger in his eyes shifted to something raw and desperate. "I can't. God help me, Ethan, I think I'm in love with you." The words hit me like a punch to the chest. Before I could even process them, he shoved off the lockers, turned sharply, and stormed down the empty hallway, leaving me sliding down to the cold tile floor, my mind reeling. What the hell had just happened? My name is Ethan Harper, 17 years old, senior at Riverton High in a quiet town in northern Michigan where Friday night football games were basically religion and anyone who did not fit the mold learned to keep their head down. I was the kid who carried a sketchbook instead of a football, carried good grades instead of trophies, and carried a secret I had never told anyone. I was gay. Not out. Not even close. Logan Reed was everything I was not. 6'2", broad shoulders, jawline that could cut glass, and a future that included a full ride to Michigan State for football. His dad owned the biggest dealership in the county and served as a deacon at the First Baptist Church. His mom baked pies for every town event. They were the picture of the perfect American family. Logan dated Sarah Mitchell, the head cheerleader, and led the team to state semifinals last year. He was untouchable. Until that moment in the hallway, he had been my tormentor. It started small in sophomore year after I accidentally walked into the locker room while he was changing. I had not meant to look, but something about him stuck with me. From then on, it was constant. Books knocked out of my hands in the hall. Accidental shoves in the cafeteria. Whispers of freak, and worse when teachers were not looking. He never did it in front of crowds, just enough to keep me on edge. I never fought back. My mom was a single nurse working double shifts to keep our small house. She already worried enough. My best friend Mia knew something was wrong, but I always brushed it off as typical high school crap. Reporting Logan would have made everything worse in a town like this. That afternoon, I sat on the floor for a long time replaying his words. It had to be a new level of cruelty. A setup. Maybe he recorded it. But the look in his eyes had been real. Scared. Almost pleading. The next day, I avoided every hallway where he might be. During English class, Mrs. Thompson announced partner projects on The Great Gatsby. "Ethan Harper and Logan Reed, you're together." My stomach dropped. Logan glanced at me from across the room, his expression blank but his jaw tight. After the bell, he caught up to me in the parking lot. "Library. After school. Don't be late." I showed up because what choice did I have? The library was quiet with only a few kids studying. Logan sat at a back table, his Letterman jacket slung over the chair. He looked exhausted. "About yesterday." He started staring at the table. "Was it a joke?" I cut in, my voice sharper than usual. He flinched. "No, it was not a joke. I've been fighting this for a long time. Bullying you. It was the only way I knew how to push it away. To convince myself and everyone else that I was normal." "Normal?" I repeated quietly. "You mean straight?" He nodded, his hands clenched on the table. "My dad would lose his mind. The team, the scholarship, everything. I would lose everything, Ethan." We talked for over an hour that day. He told me about the pressure, the constant fear of slipping up. How seeing me walk through the halls unbothered by the rumors made him angry because he wished he could be that free. How he had noticed me long before the locker room incident. By the time we left, we had an outline for the project and an uneasy truce. "This stays between us," he said as we walked out. "For now." I nodded, but my heart was racing. Part of me wanted to believe him. The other part knew this could destroy us both. The following weeks were strange. We met at the library after school working on the project, but the conversations drifted. He asked about my drawings. I asked about football. Small things. Careful things. One afternoon he brushed his hand against mine while reaching for a book, and neither of us pulled away immediately. I started noticing the cracks in his perfect life. The way he tensed when his dad called. The way he laughed too loud with the team like he was performing. Mia noticed something was different. "You seem lighter lately," she said one day at lunch. "Did something happen with Logan? He has not messed with you in weeks." I shrugged. "Project stuff." She did not buy it but let it go. Then came the first real test. Logan's dad hosted a team barbecue at their big house on the lake. Logan invited me. "As a project partner," he said. "It will look normal." I went because I was curious and because a part of me wanted to see his world. The backyard was full of football players, cheerleaders, and parents. Logan's dad, Mr. Reed, was a big man with a firm handshake and sharp eyes. "So you're the smart kid helping my boy with that book report," he said, clapping me on the shoulder a little too hard. "Good. Logan needs to keep his grades up." Later, I overheard him talking to another parent. "Kids these days with all that rainbow nonsense. Not in my house. A real man knows who he is." Logan stood nearby, his face pale. Our eyes met across the yard, and I saw the fear again. That night, after everyone left, we sat on the dock. The lake was calm under the stars. "I hate lying," he whispered, "but I do not know how to stop." I wanted to tell him it was okay to be scared. Instead I said, "You do not have to figure it out alone." He looked at me for a long moment, then reached over and squeezed my hand once before letting go. It was the smallest gesture, but it felt like the beginning of something huge and terrifying. The project became our excuse. 3 times a week we met at the library or sometimes at my house when Mom was on shift. Logan started showing up early, bringing coffee from the local diner. He liked it black. I liked mine with too much sugar. Slowly the walls came down. He told me about the first time he realized he was different. 8th grade summer camp. A counselor named Mike who had been kind and funny. Logan had felt something then but buried it deep when his dad picked him up and talked about becoming a man. "I started picking on kids who seemed like me," he admitted one evening as we sat on my porch. "It made me feel safer, stronger, until you." I sketched while he talked. My pencil captured the tension in his shoulders, the way his hair fell when he ran his hands through it. He noticed. "You are really good at that," he said softly. "Seeing people." Our hands touched more often now. Accidental at first, then not. One night, after finishing a section on symbolism, he did not pull away when our fingers laced together. We sat like that for a long time, listening to the crickets. The guilt ate at him, though. "I hurt you for years," he said one afternoon, his voice cracking. "How can you even look at me?" "Because I see the guy underneath the act," I replied. "The one who is scared and trying to survive." He leaned his head against my shoulder for just a moment. No kiss. Not yet. Just that quiet contact that said more than words. School became a minefield. The team noticed Logan was distracted. Sarah noticed he was distant. Rumors started that he was going soft. His dad pushed harder at home, demanding extra workouts and church attendance. One Friday after a game, Logan showed up at my door late. His knuckles were bruised from punching a locker. "Dad found out I skipped youth group. He thinks I am hanging around the wrong people." He did not say you, but we both knew. I made him ice the hand. We watched an old movie on my laptop. Halfway through he shifted closer until our sides pressed together. When the credits rolled, he turned to me, his face inches away. "Ethan, I waited." He kissed me. Soft, tentative, scared. It was over in seconds, but it changed everything. After that, the secret meetings became more frequent. The abandoned boathouse by the lake. My basement when Mom worked nights. Each time we talked more, kissed more, learned each other in small, careful ways. Logan started opening up about the future. "I want the scholarship, but I want this too. You." The conflict tore at him. I saw it in the way he would pull back suddenly after getting close. The way he would text me late at night saying he missed me, then ignore me at school the next day. The first crack appeared at a pep rally. Logan was on stage with the team hyping the crowd. Sarah stood beside him, her arm around his waist. When the cheerleaders did their routine, he kissed her on the cheek for the cameras. I sat in the bleachers with Mia, feeling the familiar sting of invisibility. Later in the parking lot, he found me. "It did not mean anything," he said desperately. "But it looked real," I replied. "And that is what matters to them." He reached for me, but I stepped back. "I cannot keep being your secret forever, Logan. It is killing me too." He nodded, eyes shining. "I know. I am trying." That weekend, his dad announced a big family dinner to celebrate Logan's upcoming college visits. Logan invited me again, as a friend from the project. The dinner was tense. Mr. Reed dominated the conversation, talking about tradition, values, and the kind of men who built this country. Every word felt aimed at me. After dessert, Logan and I escaped to the backyard. Under the string lights, he grabbed my hand. "I cannot do this much longer," he whispered, pretending. Before I could answer, his dad called from the house. Logan dropped my hand like it burned. The drive home was silent. When he pulled up to my house, he said, "I am sorry. For all of it. The past and now." I wanted to believe him. But the weight of the secrets, the fear, the constant hiding was starting to feel heavier than the bullying ever had. Winter hit Riverton hard that year. Snow piled up and the lake froze over. Logan and I found new hiding spots: the old heated storage room behind the gym after practice, or my car parked on back roads. Our relationship deepened in those stolen hours. We talked about college dreams, mine in Chicago, his maybe staying closer to home. We argued about books and laughed at stupid memes. He started bringing me small gifts: a new sketchbook, a hot chocolate on cold days. The kisses grew less scared, more sure. One night in my car with the heater running, he held my face in his hands and said, "You make me want to be better, Ethan. Braver." I believed him, until the night of the winter formal. Logan had to go with Sarah. It was expected. I went with Mia as friends. Watching them dance under the twinkling lights while I stood on the sidelines felt like a knife twist. During a slow song, Logan caught my eye across the gym. The look he gave me was full of regret and longing. Sarah noticed. She followed his gaze and her smile faltered. Later in the hallway, she cornered me. "What is going on between you and Logan? He has been different since you two started that project." "Nothing," I lied. "Just friends." She did not believe me. "He is mine. Stay away." The next day at school, the rumors started. Someone had seen Logan leaving my street late at night. Whispers followed me again, but this time mixed with confusion. Logan panicked. In the locker room after practice, he snapped at me in front of a couple teammates. "Stay out of my way, Harper." The words hurt more than any shove ever had. That night, he showed up at my house in tears. "I am sorry. I got scared. They were asking questions." I wanted to push him away, but when he hugged me, I let him. "We cannot keep doing this, Logan. The hiding, the lies. It is breaking us both." He nodded against my shoulder. "After the season, after I get the scholarship, I will tell them. I promise." I wanted to believe him, but promises made in the dark often dissolved in daylight. Christmas break gave us more time. His family went to visit relatives for a week. I drove to his empty house one afternoon. We spent the day watching movies, talking about what life could look like if we did not have to hide. That night, he said the words for the first time. "I love you, Ethan. For real." I said them back. Felt like flying. But the new year brought new pressures. College scouts were coming to games. Logan's dad started attending every practice. The church held a special youth service on biblical manhood. Logan grew quieter, more withdrawn. Our meetings became rushed and tense. The breaking point came in February. During a big game against our rivals, Logan played like a man possessed. After the win, the team partied at a teammate's house. I was not invited, but Mia dragged me along anyway. Logan was drunk. When some guys started joking about certain people in school, he laughed along. Then he said it. "Yeah, some guys just need to toughen up. Like that Harper kid." The room laughed. I stood in the doorway, frozen. He saw me. His face went white. I turned and left before he could follow. The next morning, he texted 100 apologies. I did not reply. The pain was worse than any bullying because now I knew what we could have been. I avoided Logan for 2 weeks. No library, no texts, no secret meetings. At school, I kept my head down and focused on my art portfolio for college applications. He looked wrecked. Dark circles under his eyes. Missed practices. His dad showed up at school demanding answers. Mia was my rock. "Whatever happened, you do not owe him anything," she said. "You deserve someone who chooses you every day, not just in secret." She was right, but my heart did not get the memo. One afternoon, Logan waited by my car after school. "Please, Ethan, just talk to me." I got in and locked the door. He stood there in the snow looking broken. That night, he showed up at my house anyway. Mom was working. I let him in because I was tired of hurting. He cried. Real tears. "I hate myself for what I said. I was drunk and scared and I took the easy way out again. I do not deserve you. But I cannot lose you." We talked until dawn. He told me about the fight with his dad, the pressure from scouts, the fear that coming out would end his football dreams. "I will quit the team if I have to," he said. "I will tell my dad. Just give me one more chance." I wanted to say no, but love makes you stupid sometimes. We started again, slower this time. More honest. He came out to his mom first in a tearful kitchen conversation. She cried but hugged him and promised to help. His dad was another story. The confrontation happened in March. Mr. Reed found texts on Logan's phone. He exploded. Called Logan every name in the book. Threatened to kick him out, cut off college money. Logan stood his ground for the first time. "I am still your son. This does not change that." His dad told him to leave until he fixed himself. Logan showed up at my door with a duffel bag. "Can I stay for a few days?" Mom took one look at him and said yes. She had suspected for a while. Living together even temporarily changed things. We cooked meals together, helped each other with homework. The domesticity felt real and terrifying. But the town talk grew louder. Sarah spread rumors. Some teammates stopped talking to Logan. His scholarship offers started pulling back. The guilt weighed on me. "Maybe I am ruining your life," I told him one night. He pulled me close. "You are saving it." The final game of the season approached. Logan was benched for attitude issues. His dad sat in the stands stone-faced. During halftime, Logan walked onto the field anyway. The coach tried to stop him, but he grabbed the mic from the announcer. The whole stadium went quiet. "I have something to say," he announced, his voice shaking but clear over the speakers. "I am gay, and I am in love with Ethan Harper. I spent years hurting him because I was scared. I am not scared anymore." Gasps rippled through the crowd. His dad stood up and walked out. Logan looked straight at me in the stands. "I choose you. No more hiding." The team reaction was mixed. Some cheered. Some walked away. But in that moment, none of it mattered. After the game, we met under the bleachers. He was shaking. "I just blew up my whole life," he said with a shaky laugh. I kissed him right there in the open. "We will build a new one. Together." The aftermath was brutal. Logan's dad refused to speak to him. The dealership put out a statement distancing the family from personal choices. Some sponsors pulled funding for the team. Logan moved in with us full-time. Mom treated him like a second son. We applied to colleges together, me for art programs, him for whatever he could get with his grades and remaining offers. The school was split. Some kids supported us. Others made comments. One afternoon, a group of football guys cornered Logan in the parking lot. He stood his ground and walked away without fighting. I was proud of him, but I also saw the cost in his eyes. The lost friendships, the uncertain future. My own family situation improved too. Mom finally met Logan properly and they bonded over bad dad jokes and football stats. She told me later, "He looks at you the way I always hoped someone would." Spring brought prom. We went together. No hiding. Logan wore a simple black suit. I wore a deep blue one that matched his eyes. We danced in front of the whole school. Some people stared. Most did not care. The real test came when Logan's mom reached out. She wanted to meet. We drove to a neutral coffee shop. She cried when she saw him, hugged him tight, and apologized for not standing up sooner. "Your father is stubborn," she said. "But he loves you. It will take time." Time was something we were learning to give. Graduation approached. Logan got accepted to a smaller state school with a partial scholarship. I got into the Art Institute in Chicago. The distance scared us both, but we made plans to visit every weekend. The night before graduation, we sat on the same dock where everything had started. The lake was calm again. "I never thought I would get here," Logan said. "From hating myself to this. To us." "You did the hard part," I replied. "Choosing truth over easy." He turned to me. "I would do it all again if it led to you." The next day at graduation, his dad showed up. He did not smile, but he stayed for the whole ceremony. After Logan walked across the stage, Mr. Reed approached us in the parking lot. "I do not understand it," he said gruffly. "But you are still my son. Come home when you are ready." It was not full acceptance, but it was a start. Summer after graduation felt like breathing for the first time. Logan and I spent long days at the lake talking about the future. He worked at a local gym. I sold some artwork online. We saved every dollar for the move to Chicago in the fall. The wounds were still there. Logan had nightmares about his dad sometimes. I still flinched when someone raised their voice too loud in the hallway. But we faced them together. One evening in August, we drove back to the high school. The building was dark and empty. We sat on the hood of my car looking at the football field. "Remember the first time I slammed you against the lockers?" Logan asked quietly. "How could I forget?" I laughed. "Best worst day of my life." He took my hand. "I was so scared that day. Scared of what I felt. Scared of losing everything. But losing you would have been worse." We had come so far. From pain and denial to this quiet, steady love. It was not perfect. The world outside Riverton would be harder in some ways. But we were ready. On our last night in town before moving, Logan took me to the same dock again. He got down on one knee, not with a ring, but with a small sketch I had drawn of us months ago. "I know we are young," he said, "but I want to build a life with you, Ethan. No more hiding. No more fear. Just us choosing each other every day." I pulled him up and kissed him. "Yes, always yes." We left Riverton the next week. His mom waved from the porch. His dad watched from the window but gave a small nod. Chicago was loud and bright and full of possibility. We found a tiny apartment near the Art Institute. Logan started classes and found a spot on the club football team. I threw myself into my art. The fights still came. Old insecurities. Family tension. The weight of what we had been through. But every time we chose to talk instead of run. 1 year later, on the anniversary of that hallway moment, Logan surprised me with tickets to a show and a quiet dinner. Over dessert, he slid a simple silver band across the table. "Not an engagement yet," he said, smiling, "but a promise that I will keep choosing you. That the boy who hurt you became the man who loves you more than anything." I slipped it on. From bully to my first love. And my last. Looking back, I sometimes wonder about the price we paid. The lost friendships, the family strain, the years of fear. But then I look at the man sleeping beside me, the one who fought the world to be with me, and I know it was worth it. Was it right for love to grow from such a painful beginning, or should some wounds remain unforgiven no matter how much someone changes?